Hello,
Nice.
everyone. Welcome back to Horde of Tales. Tonight, we're very happy to be sponsored by Evil Hat Productions themselves for this game of Monster of the Week called Colourless. Please feel free to click the link in our chat to support this incredible cast, who we'll be reintroducing ourselves to you, very soon, and to get these incredibly fun games. Some early content warnings. You know what? All of these are going to come up today, most likely. As opposed to other days where it's like, yeah, maybe not all of them. They're all coming up today. So here are your early spoiler warnings. Not spoiler content. Well, maybe also. Carlos is a game that deals with general themes of psychological horror, violence, blood, swearing, themes of regarding loss of identity, and especially for tonight, insectoid-like beings, and potentially even death. But with that, my name is Apollo, at Tonard Apollo. I will be your keeper for this evening, and let's reacquaint ourselves. That's a word. Reacquaint ourselves with our players. Tendai.
Hi, I'm Tendai. I'll be playing Changatai, the party's resident energy vamp. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing what happens. We've gone through quite a journey, so hopefully we don't all die. But if it does, it is what it is.
That's horror. Kestrel.
Hi, I'm Kestrel. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Rosie, who's a she, her. The party's mundane and superstar rockstar who's going to put on some sort of performance today to hopefully save the day. I'm looking forward to it.
Nathan.
Hello, everybody. I'm your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades. I will be playing the one and only Robert, the expert playbook, bookkeeper, and sometimes drag queen on a Wednesday night.
And Lola.
I was muted. Hello. Now you can hopefully hear me. I am Lola, pronouns they them, and I will be playing Aradani Jones using the spooky playbook. Yes. Danny.
Now, I could just give you all a recap, or you could give it to me. And because it's the finale and I'm feeling generous, and also to reward my fellow note takers out there, I see the work y'all do. For each point of the recap that I deem satisfying to me personally, completely subjectively, I will give you a +1 advancement to a roll that you can use whenever throughout tonight. So who would like to start with what we did last time?
In chronological order, or are we starting with
Give me
stand-up
chronological.
moments?
Give me
Marvelous.
chronological.
Okay, all right. So, wrapping up the session, we started last session divided, but connecting our ideas. Both Robert Clark and Chengatai, Mofari Ryan, were in the forest at the edge of town, confronting one PJ possessed by this devouring monster, trying to drag its initial egg back into town to its nest. On the other side of town, in a cemetery, we had Rosie Jones and Danny Jones having just spoken to the ghostly bulwark of the town, so Sir Ophiuchus, about the town's history and its repeating nature of roughly every 30 years a meteor shower affecting the town in unforeseen ways.
Perfect. I'm gonna give you straight up to 1. Next person. Give me some more.
We, well, during this phone conversation, we swapped information and then decided to meet back at the Pages of Paradiso, in which ensued a lovely little research montage and discussion about what to do next, where to go next. There was a call from the hospital letting us know that Amanda was available. Was it Amanda? Available to be seen, to be talked to. But whilst we were chatting, clearly we spent a little bit too long chatting because we smelled smoke. And where there was smoke, there was most definitely fire. We had to rush out to the other side of town, again, splitting the party because we had Rosie and Robert running towards the fire and quite literally into the fire to rescue, well, we'd hoped it would have been the Pride Folks. Unfortunately not. However, they did rescue a Tallulah Rose who
This is good. This is good.
Apollo made us create at the top of last session,
Mhm.
only to cruelly almost rip them away.
Oh,
No, actually, lovingly almost rip them away
exactly.
because we
Mhm.
saved them, right?
Mhm.
We
Yeah,
You
you
saved
did
them,
did.
indeed
and
save
also
them.
and also a drum of David's drum, steel
Mhm.
Very
drum.
good.
So in so way we could still save the day whilst what's it called Chungatai and Danny went to try and get a fire truck because the town was empty as all and there was no one else coming to try and put down this fire. And yeah, so they saved Tallulah, they saved a drum. We saved the rest of the town from burning so far.
Perfect. Perfect. Take a +1 yourself as well, Kestrel. Continue.
So after we made sure everybody was well, Tallulah was safe, the drum was secured. We knew that Amanda had sort of awoken, so we decided to go down to the hospital to go and have a one-on-one with her. Robert was the one to go and see her, whilst the rest of us sort of did our own things to gather a bit more information. Going with the lead of this sort of 30-year cycle and having been told that their birth was sort of special, Chengatai went to check the birth records after speaking to, I think, like a hospital bookkeeper, manager
Admin.
guy,
Yeah.
admin. Um,
Archivist, actually.
Archivist sort of tricked him with a little bit of magic to show them where exactly the records were being kept, and was able to discover that they were the only person within like the radius of like this phenomena to have been born. Was the only person like born on that day. Fun stuff. uh, Amanda and Robert had just a very beautiful heart to heart with one another. Um, was given, I think, a little bit more information. But the details of my own brain are a little bit foggy on that part, so I'm sure somebody will fill us in a little bit more later. And then we had our Dani sort of going into the mind palace a little bit. I think sort of looking for a few more answers of what to do next, and sort of landed on something of a revelation that I don't know if it was Ardani specifically, but somebody came to the conclusion that these beings, the people that had been affected by, I remember what it was that Amanda had taught us. She had been reportedly bitten by a snake. Tallulah, we'd learned, was attacked by something like something dog-like, yeah. And we had learned
Very
that
good.
as this creature was eating away at the sort of emotions of the people of this town, had sort of bonded with the town in and of itself. It was growing in size and becoming more and more dangerous. And it was up to us to find a way to try to, and I'm so foggy on this part,
You can
try
tap out
to
now if you want. You can tap out.
bring back
Mm.
people's emotions, and I'll leave it there for anybody to correct me.
Solid tap out. Take a +1 for whatever throughout the night. And lastly, close us out.
Okay, so we found out that this devourer is pretty much it's almost sated based on Tallulah having this sort of realization, and while she became more, I suppose, more lucid, she mentioned that she couldn't hear any of the others, so we can essentially conclude that it is a hive mind, so sort to speak. And then we also figured out that when the individuals fought against this creature, eating their emotions, the more they used emotion to try and beat it back, the more it fed off their emotions, thus making it grow larger and larger. So mo- most of the townspeople are gone, missing at this point. Our lovely Rosie and Robert also suggested that, listen, if there's a way to bring, it's like against despair, togetherness, I believe might have been what
Mm-hmm.
was said. And Robert was like, well, there's one thing that always seems to be common when it comes to things like this, and it is music. And nothing brings people together more like music. So Rosie was like, hey, why not have a gig in the park? So everybody seems to be gung ho with that one. We're going to have a nice little gig in the park. I know that Danny and Chengatai were like, gig in the park, but also swords.
But
Mm-hmm.
also
And
swords.
yes, and I also would love to find a brick just for Robert, so we can at least swing one at this big thing. But yeah, Tallulah gave us a bit more information as to what was happening. At least they were broken away from the hive mind because Chengatai managed to seal this thing in one of her chunky bag lady bracelets. But overall, like, the people are gone. We only have the one drum. We save one person. All of the floats are gone. And yeah, we have to try and destroy this devourer. And I'm pretty sure Robert suggested that if we have our concert in the park, hopefully we can get the people out of its general hold, and
Mm.
then from that we can weaken it somewhat so we can actively directly attack it, because right now it's probably far too strong, considering there's only what, four of us and probably a couple hundred, few 100,000 people in the town who are
That's
now
couple.
part of this nest. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder where they're all being kept, because it's a small town. Where can?
I
Oh
wonder
well,
Mm.
where.
we
Anyway,
suspect
In
that
the
it
that's
might be the
definitely
town
nest.
not going to
hall.
be important. Take a +1. And we ended
It's the
up
town hall. I
on
bet you anything.
our investigators returning to the town. We're going to open up back there. It's quiet. Too quiet.
Hmm.
You could hear a pin drop, and this is supposed to be the busiest city street in the entire town. You start walking, and as you start walking, you notice that it's not quiet because there aren't people out. There are. There are people out here, but they're standing perfectly still, immobile, waiting. You continue walking, and you see the newscast from the very first episode for us has returned. He's trying to interview someone. And you all see now who Rosie recognizes. Rosie, you recognize the woman being interviewed as David's mom. Pride celebrations. No, no, we wouldn't busy ourselves with that. What is there to be prideful about? This is a small town. We keep to ourselves. Multiculturalism. Why should I care? I came here, pay my taxes, I live my life, and I stay out of people's business. I don't need to know what anybody else is up to. It gets tiring to care so much about life, don't you think? And as she says that, she reaches out and touches the arm of the newscaster who is holding the mic up to her face. And you see that the grayness that you look at David's mom. She looks a little bit like me right now, though her skin is way more washed out. Her eyes are sunken and dark, and there are marks of her veins that are blackened going down from her eyes, going outward from her eyes. You cannot see it because clothes exist. But if you were to see where her heart is, there would be a similar blackness and a spread of necrotic corruption, of uncaringness, of heart-stopping apathy spreading from her heart as well. She touches the newscaster, and the washed-out, bleak colorlessness spreads to her as well. She lowers the mic, looks to her cameraman, and he starts trying to run. He makes eye contact with you. And from all the town side streets, he gets dogpiled on by 10, 15, 20 more of the townspeople, all washed out, all monochrome. How we all feeling, guys?
I didn't know we were in World War Z, but okay.
Right, until you said that.
This is where this
So,
is where this story goes from cosmic horror to zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
Mm.
So, while I guess we listened to this interview kind of take place without directly interfering. I assume the news van from the interviewer is currently on site, like nearby to them all.
Yeah, it's on site. You see that it's the engine is still going because all the electronics are connected to the van, so the van needed to be running. It's a little bit off from where they were doing the interview, so they wouldn't get
For sure.
audio. Audio nerd here.
Big question though. Is there obviously broadcast apparatus on that van, or is it to be a pre-record?
You'll have to get closer there. Like there's an antenna, there's a lot of equipment in there, but I think at a distance you wouldn't be able to tell.
Right. At the first thing, aside from the horror of the situation, which is still what runs through Robert Clark's mind as a member of the Watching Star, is that paranormal circumstances like these cannot be discovered by the general public. That is a terrible thing to occur.
Yeah.
Robert turns to the others.
If it's any consolation, for free, I will tell you that you know that they've been getting interviews around the town because, again, we started with these newscasts in episode 1. They were interviewing Amanda. It is now, let's say, like Friday. The pride celebrations would have been over the weekend, or would have been Saturday, Sunday. So, in all likelihood, they've been getting pre-recorded stuff all week.
Yeah.
Turning grey, but for a different reason to the current prevailing issue at hand, Robert turns to the others. Do you think you can pull him from that mess?
if you'll allow me, when Robert turns back, you could see that Danny is already concentrating, and I would like to try and use a move slightly retroactively in the sense when the cameraman is running.
Yeah.
So going back to when Danny first turned up and all the trouble that they had getting off the bus, the falling over, the brick phone that never really works, all of these stored kind of bad luck and coincidences that just keep happening around them. I want to use all of that kind of stored bad luck to just, if it's a little jinx on the people around, and almost a good thing for the cameraman, not so great for the creature. And whilst we can't see the cameraman, I would love for there to have been something like an open pothole that he managed to fall into, and everyone just kind of landed on top. Right, so he got away.
Okay. What are you gonna roll for me for this?
I'm gonna roll and see.
What are you rolling?
I'm rolling. Oh, this is Jinx. This is weird plus weird. So that is a 5 and a 4 on the dice. So already a 9 plus 3 weird.
Oh, yeah. You tell me.
So as it happens, whilst whilst we are looking on and Robert is looking on in horror to turn back to us, Danny is concentrating very hard on making all of these coincidences just happen to occur at once. So as the cameraman is running, suddenly there is a open not well, pothole, or there's an open hole in front of him of sorts that he trips and falls into, but the first person going for him trips and falls over, but actually can't touch him. And then they all pile on top of that person,
It
and
is.
he manages to crawl out and slip away whilst they
It's
are.
it's the running for like a ball in a sport where you don't you
Mhm.
don't run where the ball is, you run where it's gonna be.
Going.
So
Yeah.
he gets his foot stuck in a pothole and kind of has to balance himself, and all the zombified townspeople jump right in front of him, and they all
Mhm.
just keep jumping, and they make a pile in front of him. He's able to get his foot unstuck and run around. You see, he's running. He's a guy like he's in his like 40s. He's carrying this camera on his shoulder. He's not letting it drop because he knows how expensive it is, and he's just running.
Mhm. So that is the one hold that I will spend. I'll save the other one for later.
Perfect. Perfect. Actually, while we're here, hey, Erdani,
Mm-hmm.
you now know that whatever this is, it is operating as part of a hive mind.
Yes.
You open yourself to the world to affect chance.
Mm-hmm.
In opening up yourself to the world, you can start to feel the presences of everything around you. So you feel the people around you, you feel the voids. And where all the zombified townspeople have dogpiled, that is the highest concentration of void hive mind that you've ever felt.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel like they've made enough of a door that if you wanted to, you could open yourself up to the hive mind a bit to be able to hear the orders they're receiving.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
At
What are you
what
gonna make me do
cost,
with it?
Danny?
What are you
Will
going
there
to
be a
do?
cost? Yes, there will.
Yes. What are you going to make me do? Because I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
I'm gonna
it.
do
Just
it, but it'll be bad. I'll do it, but it'll be bad. Right.
I'm hoping that I can use this channel later as well.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh no, none of that.
Could
Uh
I
Mm.
oh,
potentially take a helping action?
I
Because I
don't
would have. No?
hmm. Hmm. Argue it.
Okay. This I can do. So I would assume that Chengatai would have been keeping a very close eye on everybody's emotions just to make sure that there's no void, there's no grayness kind of seeping into them as we've been going around doing these things because we've always been together. So it's easier to kind of have a little taste here and there to make sure that everything is kosher. So seeing that, probably feeling that Eridani has just expended some energy to do this, Chengatai will be watching very closely to see where their energy, where their emotions are going to be going and where they're going to be spiking. So if Iridani opens themselves up to the void, Chengatai is going to be able to taste some of the void because they know what that tastes like.
Hmm.
So I'd like to be able to kind of siphon a bit of that after effect from Danny.
Okay. Okay, you'll be able to decipher some of the after effects. So we have to do this first and then
Yeah.
see how it goes.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, Danny, here is the deal. Yeah, here's the offer. Hello, sharks.
Okay.
I come to you with an investment opportunity.
Yeah.
You will be taking one harm. That's baseline.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But then you're going to roll. You're going to make a weird roll, as if you were investigating a phenomena.
Okay.
If you
I can't use my
succeed,
hold? No, I'm joking.
I'm gonna make you roll for this one.
That's fine. That's
Uh,
fine.
but what we will do is that there's going to be a sliding scale of successes here.
Mm-hmm.
If you failed it, you were going to take 2 additional harm. So we're going to take the full fail off the table.
Okay.
So now, if you fail the roll, you will only gain 1 additional harm.
Okay.
If you make it, you are able to open yourself up to this hive mind with minimal injury and with minimal harm done to your psyche. And then, Chengatai, you will be able to try and make a recovery roll or a help out roll to mitigate that damage, to take away a harm potentially, or
Mhm.
both of the harms if you do really well.
Okay, cool.
So, do you want to open yourself up to the hive mind?
Yes. I feel like I must.
Well, you don't have to.
If you
Hey,
insist.
hey, I'm just a little guy. Don't think that you have to do anything I offer.
Oh, that's fine. It's not like it's my job to like fix people and like.
It's not like you're the spook or
So-
anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like it. Okay. Um. That's a 10 on the dice, plus 3 for weird. So
Lovely. You only
Yeah.
suffer the initial harm. You just suffer the initial hit to the psyche. You're opening a door, but it's like you're opening a door to a hurricane. So there's the initial blast of nothingness. Hurts your psyche. You take that harm, but you're then able to withstand it. You hear the voice. Take the town. Make it one. Make it nothing. That is what you hear. Now, Changatai.
Mhm.
I keep getting both of your names confused. It's been 4 episodes. Changatai,
Yes.
you see, yeah, you are opening yourself up as well. You taste the initial hit because it was just so powerful. You immediately get the sense that it would have been much worse if Eridani just wasn't built like an absolute fucking unit.
Tank.
Yeah. Like Eridani doesn't do this shit day in, day out.
Mm.
Yeah.
But Eridani has taken some psychic just pain. A jolt of pain went through their body, and you feel that that is something that will stay with them. But you feel like you might be able to take some of the pain away.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're gonna either roll me a help out or protect someone. Actually, because these are kind of nice. And I like the way that these are. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be
I.
protect someone
Yeah. I
to
was gonna
prevent
say.
harm.
Yeah. Definitely protect.
Yeah, let's call it a protect.
Okie dokie. So that is an.
They protect. They attack.
So I rolled a 7.
Turn
and-
emotion into snack. I'll leave.
Very good. Hey,
Learn
no,
the
the
song,
stream is
yeah.
over now. You did it. Congratulations.
You guys win. The creature says, "Yeah, I actually kind of want to leave."
Let me just double check.
I'll try
For
Mars.
protect somebody, it is with tough. So my tough is +2, so that brings it up to a 9.
9.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. So 7 plus. You didn't get a 10. 10 would have been very good. On a 7 plus, you protect someone. Okay, but you'll suffer some or all of the harm they were gonna take.
I'll
Now
take it
there's.
off.
You'll take it off. Perfect.
I'll take it
Yeah.
off. Because I can then use my monster, one of my other monster abilities,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which
So you take
Uh,
that one harm for me.
Yeah. What do you think it'll feel like for Idani as you take that just psychic harm away from them?
So it'll probably be akin to almost like getting, like, if you've ever had, sorry, content warning for blood. If you ever had bloods taken, when the nurse is like, it's just a little scratch.
Mhm.
Never
Yeah.
gets a little scratch.
So essentially, it's going to be a very kind of quick sort of like pinprick of feeling. And then it's that feeling is just going to kind of almost like ebb out of them.
Yeah. Perfect. All this happens in literal split seconds. You open up yourself to the hive mind. You receive the message. By the time you finish receiving the message from the hive mind, the orders to take everybody in the town, the pain that you were feeling, you don't notice, but you were tensing your entire body, and you relax as you feel that Chengatai is the source of this relief. What are we all doing?
As a gentle smile and a nod to Changatai as a thanks. As in, I felt this before. Like you've so
I got you. We cool.
mhm.
I would actually like to use my ability to heal myself.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's
perfect.
called unquenchable vitality.
Oh, that's badass.
I know, right?
Yeah,
So
okay, yeah,
cool.
you do that. That just kind of happens.
Mm-hmm.
You tank the harm, and you just go, oh, good.
Absolutely. Glad that you get to be the tank under this circumstance. So the cameraman, who is currently fleeing the scene.
Yeah, he's
with
fleeing the scene. He's
camera.
running closer towards you guys now. He hasn't reached
Right.
you yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll take like a couple other. It'll take under 5 seconds for the dog pile to realize, hey, we didn't get him.
Absolutely. Did you have a thing you wanted to do, Rosie, before I address this man?
Well, that depends, because I can probably point him in the right direction, get him out of town, make sure he's safe.
I was going to suggest we bundle into the van.
And drive away.
That's back that way by the tugboat.
Do you want to get behind the wheel? I can probably convince him to get in with us so he can get somewhere safe.
Oh, I think you should tell him that we have something else for him to produce, i.e., the the performance.
I mean, we might need the
First
equipment inside the van.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We hail him down, I guess, collectively. He's like, sir.
Hail him? It's more of a like grab.
Just like,
We don't
this way. Yeah.
Ooh, question.
Yeah,
actually.
he will go to you.
Circumstances are currently dire, but we're going to need your van.
Yeah, do whatever. This is World War Z, and I'm not here for that. Nope, absolutely not. Take the keys. He throws the keys to you.
Camera.
These are the spare keys. There are keys in the van because the van is currently running. Consistency. Close loopholes.
There we go.
Camera.
If you try and flee, we can direct you in the way to leave town. But to be honest, if you're on your own, your chances of survival are not very high.
Don't like that.
So then I suppose you should maybe come with us at the very least.
Sure, this is bad.
Yes, it is.
I did shrooms one time in college, and now I'm seeing things. Do they have a delayed effect?
Yes.
Yes.
What's happening?
Robert, please get him into
Immediately
the
having
back of the
been given
van.
an out in terms of explaining what's going on.
You see this like man who just like is about to enter or is in a midlife crisis. Is just like, I just need something to hold me on.
Yeah, this is
I get it.
it's a shared bad trip, so we think that something might have happened to the
Like the
water
dancing
in the
plague in
town.
France.
Yeah, similar to France, but we think obviously
The
something might have
French.
happened to the water. We don't have as robust water filtration systems, and that's why everybody is acting so weird. Have you ever heard about that fungus that infects ants?
Checks out a
Maybe
little, not
we're
asking
going to go
any
and get you into the van. We're going to get
Okay.
you nice and safe and under a blanket, and we're going
Okay,
to.
they tried to tackle me. I lost a shoe, I think.
Yes.
It's okay. We
we'll
don't
get
need
your
shoes
shoe.
right now.
You can get it later.
We've got it handled. Just please, there's like a pleading look at Rosie. Could you please get this man to calm down?
I look at this guy, and I'm going to use the move Trust Me from the Mundane playbook. I look this guy straight in the eyes and say, I don't know how else to explain this, but these people, they don't... A meteor fell from space, and now everybody is like an emotional zombie. And right now, the only way to protect you is to get you into that van so we can all drive away and find some way to get them all back to their senses. You have to trust me. I didn't believe what was happening beforehand, but I got roped into this, and now, unfortunately, you are as well. When you tell a
She's on the
person...
streams as well.
When you tell a normal person the truth in order to protect them from danger, roll plus charm. On a 10 plus, they'll do what you say, and on a 7 to 9, they'll ask you some questions or something.
Right, perfect. Yeah, give me that roll.
Awesome.
I do love everybody else is going, no, don't tell them the truth.
Yeah,
No,
It's like,
that's
no!
great. I love that. I love that.
it's a great move, and it's a great internal conflict with us. So that is a 9 plus my charm, so that's 11 total.
Ooh.
So
I've seen you busking. No further questions. Let's go.
get it, yeah.
If I see you busk on the street, you're immediately trustworthy to me. Let's go.
I love where your priorities are at. Let's get in.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the fun of it, yeah. Somebody just roll me a d6.
Just
the
a single.
fortune die.
Just a fortune die.
Let's
blazed in the
go.
dark of
Oh,
war.
I got a 5.
Okay, there you go.
5.
Nice.
You managed to get to the van before the zombified pile realizes, hey, our guy is not here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We'll go.
Who's driving?
Robert, you get into, you look into the back, or you get into the back. Up to you. This is all being for a pre-record.
Okay. Thank fuck. All right. We're going to need
But
to
you
drive.
you do actually also see. Sorry for the interruption. You do also see that at the back here, they have not all, but they have a significant amount of equipment, because on the actual day they were going to set up a little booth on the side of the street from which to live stream, and to they have speakers, they have microphones, so they have about half of the equipment you would need for future plans.
Okay.
Should the plan remain unchanged.
Interesting.
Who's going to get us to the bandstand?
I can drive.
Park? Thank you.
Quick question. This just to loop back to the last game. We determined that there was a PA system in the park, right?
I don't know where the park came from.
The town park, where they usually have like. I thought we spoke that.
We
Okay,
may have
then
envisioned
maybe.
something similar, but I don't know if
during
yeah.
the
Okay.
recap, the gig in the park got mentioned, and I was like, I don't know where that's going, but okay. I mean,
I
they're
thought
cooking.
that's where we were gonna head, because
In my notes, I wrote down park ? So it's all
okay,
good.
fair. No, that's fine.
What we can do is we can head to the community center first, pick up some sound equipment, because I know they've got a bunch stashed away from when we do like little
Yes.
performances and stuff. Take that down to some large open space like the park. Get that set up on if there's like a stage out there, some sort of whatever, with the equipment we have in here, and get that blasting through the town. How does that sound?
I like the idea of getting the blaster through the town. I wouldn't say the park, primarily speaking, because if you're on a stage in the park, you are open on all 4 sides, making you very vulnerable for any sort of attack. If we have at least some solid wall behind us, foils. If we have at least one solid wall behind us, that is 3 of us on each of your open sides. Somebody in the front, somebody in the wings, and we could at least try to mitigate any sort of attack coming at you. But I don't know how everybody feels with that. Uncle Rob,
consider splitting the difference here then. How about we go directly to the community center and set it up there? At the very least, we could take our equipment to the roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I like that.
We haven't necessarily decided. we do have the means of determining the epicenter of where the devourer is residing. At the very least, I wonder if it would be easier to direct them towards us rather than us going to where they are.
Yeah,
I definitely have no interest in going to their nest, but yeah. What are they? what are they saying right now? Is it still the advert? The take over the town.
So
you listen in now. You listen in now to see if there's any ambient. You look behind you. The zombified mob looks at you and they see you. The voice, the hive mind speaks. Get them.
Oh
Bring
no.
them to me.
Backing out with the van.
They will join. They will
I think
see.
not.
They will reach peace.
Ugh.
Castro. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, at this point, I'm driving towards the community center.
No, that's perfectly fine. I have nothing else I want to do in this scene. Let's get to the center.
Hmm.
Awesome. Y'all start driving to the center. Rosie, as you're driving, you get the little. What's Rosie's text notification sound?
Oh, I think it's the chorus of "Hot to Go" by Chappelle Roan.
Ooh.
HOTTOGO. Just starts coming up from your phone.
Driving one hand's like, oh, okay, pull out. Don't do this at
so
home,
driving.
people. Don't look at your phone while you're driving. But she pulls it out,
Rosie.
takes a look at it while she's driving out. It's important, I think. I don't know.
You don't recognize the number, but there's a call incoming.
Actually, Danny, can you take this?
Okay, we'll take the phone and swipe up on the green button.
Hey, is this Rosie?
Who is
It's,
this?
it's
Speaking?
on speaker. Yeah.
Hey, Rosie, you gave me your number earlier. This is Angel.
Oh, yeah. What's up? Where are you right now? You okay?
Yeah. There's like a whole mob, and they're trying to get in. We're at the community center.
Stay right there. How many are out there right now?
I don't know. It looked like I really don't know. It looked like a small crowd, but then they started banging on the doors, and it's me. I'm I'm here too. You hear it is Grace, David's aunt, is also speaking here.
Um.
Say we're just trying to we're trying to keep the doors closed. That we've blocked all the windows, but the doors they're not holding on.
Oh, okay. Try go further into the community center. If you need to hide yourself in a cupboard or something, stay in there. We're actually heading to where you are right now. So hang on tight, and we can get you out of that situation.
Can I spend the other hold that I had for the
What
jinx?
would you like to do?
I know
I mean,
this
the answer is
is
yes, but just
it's just another like coincidence.
Mhm.
Just really coincidentally, there's a van that looks like the one that we're in that is pulling up to the community center, sees this mob, and fucks the fuck off. Right? I would love for them to be like, "Oh, those are the people we're supposed to get. Let's follow
The
it."
second news crew. That's funny.
Apollo's face.
I would love for that to be just just so we can get in and block it and protect people, right? Like,
The
gotta
storyteller
do
in
our
me wants to say
jobs.
yes, 100%. That's hilarious. The person who is aware of mathematics, and statistics in the world wants to say, look, the
It's
getting
a coincidence.
100% of the people
Mm.
to go the other side, to go the other way,
Look,
is
okay, it
so improbable.
says that I can
So improbable. What does it
I
say
can
in the book?
okay. So you can encourage coincidences to occur the way I want.
The way I want.
That's what
I
it literally
want.
says.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Uh-huh.
So I can interfere with a hunter if I want to. I can help a hunter, or I can interfere with what a monster minion or bystander is trying to do. I'm not choosing to inflict harm. They're fine, right? Well, okay, they're not fine. They're part of a hive
Okay.
mind. But
So you want to affect the ones that are chasing you?
the ones that are chasing us, how far behind are they?
People have gotten on 2 cars. There's like a couple of cars and a motorcycle, but it's like a
Oh.
clown car type of situation where people are literally spilling out of the windows.
Okay,
Oh.
right. So
Okay, the
I
way
can
you
ma-
want it. I'm also very aware that the language in that is very single target.
yes.
Split the difference,
So-
you get 50% off your tail.
So-
Shake on it.
Okay.
Ah, I'm getting hustled.
An alternate. So go ahead. Go ahead. Hmm.
Are still following us, but we'll deal with them. But there's
So do
no
you
one
want
in
the
front
people-
of us to block.
So do you
our
want
entry.
the people in the community, the ones that are going for the community center, to turn around and start coming over to you?
Not to us, to this.
Mysterious other van.
An alternate suggestion of something maybe a bit more plausible for the jinx to kick in. Maybe since I like the idea that the
I
people that are
respect
chasing.
this so much.
Sorry, I like the idea that the people are chasing us are cognizant enough when they're commanded to do something to use stuff like tools and cars, and they're not.
Oh yeah.
So maybe the jinx here is that the cars that they have taken are things that are low or empty on fuel.
Mm.
So they cannot
Ooh.
chase us anymore because those things have run out of fuel and those cars
I
stop.
mean, that yes, that is very valid. My thing was more to protect the people in the
In the community center.
and clear our path ahead of us.
Okay, you
Sure.
know what? I
Right?
respect the hustle. You're gonna get rid of the people that are hustling the community center. You're gonna clear a path for yourself for a limited time.
That's fine. That's all I was trying to do.
And this is how we do collaborative storytelling. You hustle the DM until I say, okay, here's a compromise. And then we agree. Yeah.
No, but
On
is
that
anything to
note.
discuss.
You see pulling up next to you at an intersection, there's another news crew. You're like, let's say you're like channel 4, they're channel 6. And you have the like Umbrella Academy thing of the two cars passing each other going, what the fuck? Anyway, so I'm gonna just recreate what the driver does.
Driving. Confused look. Shocked look. Very perplexed. They're looking back and forth and back and forth. And then climbing on the brakes as they approach the horde coming towards us. Yeah.
Steps on that shit and peels off. You see that he's going so fast that all the townspeople from the from the community center go and run, chasing him. Your path to the community center has been cleared.
Everybody, once we like pull up into the community center, I want to usher everybody out and use the van that we have to further barricade the door.
Block the entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Awesome. Yeah, you're
Okay, still
you're
on the
100% able to do that.
Okay, we're outside, we're coming in, and we've blocked the doors. There we go.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
You're going to need to grab as much equipment as you can and drag it inside.
What sort of equipment?
No. Sorry, this was not over the phone since there's
Just to us in the van.
To us in the back of the van, since they have broadcast equipment in here, we need to take it inside the community center. It seems. So yes, we're going to need to grab as much of this broadcasting equipment as we can and drag it inside, and we'll see if there's anything we can do about it.
Awesome, perfect. Yeah, you're able to do that. You're able to unload the van. You all get in. You see that the
when we get
community
into the-
center is not in the center of the town. It's sort of towards like the outskirts. Like it used to be an old school building before before the town grew to a size that they needed to make a bigger one. So where you are right now is the doors that they were trying to get at were the doors to what used to be the gym. So, well, it is still a gym. It's a gym that, you know, Robert, Rosie, Changatai, you would know that local sports teams, like your local youth leagues and things, make use of this space here. There are a couple like, big closets around here. You come out? No. Some of them are for sports equipment. You know that as some smaller like you know there's definitely music stuff around here. Rosie, you know that the very basics are easily accessible because you're the person who stores them. But you know that somewhere around here there was also equipment from an old Battle of the Bands like bigger speakers and things that they did.
These are on loan as well, and if we damage them, we've got to pay for them. But I think now that's
This is from a couple of years ago, so it's like it's on loan, but it's been too long.
If no one's gonna take them, then like, yeah, no,
They're
well,
functionally yours.
I'll get them loaded up onto like a trolley. I mean, that's why I've been using them for so long. And try to wheel them up to like, I guess like our only real option is the stairwell, and just try
I
to
will
get us up to the
say,
room.
you know where your stuff is. You don't know where the heavier duty stuff is. You're gonna have to look around.
Okay.
Okay, let's go and, especially under current circumstances here, read a bad situation as we kind of case the joint of this community center. I assume as we look through the space, we also run into Angel and the other people who are sheltered up here.
Yeah. So the main two people that seem to have taken up sort of like more leadership positions are David's auntie Grace and Angel. In here, you also find a few kids from the gaggle, the gaggle of teens,
Oh, wonderful.
and like fully covered like under a sea of blankets is a guy who none of you have seen his face before, but from the whimpering of his voice, you know that he is one Gary Richardson.
Oh,
Gary.
oh wow.
Oh, is it? So you know when you go close to a mic or like and you're giving off am I getting any feedback being connected to the hive mind from anyone in this group?
There's ambient feedback, but I don't think you can just ambiently without without straight up like grabbing someone by the shoulders and shaking them a little bit. I don't think figuratively. I don't think you'll be able to pinpoint exactly from who. There are a lot of people here, and there's a lot of very high emotions here. So you're
Okay.
able to pick up the feedback in the background behind the heightened emotional senses: fear, panic, despair, confusion, all that.
I mean, is anyone thinking something that they shouldn't be?
Well, everyone's thinking, well, shouldn't be in the sense of, well, nobody should be feeling feared for their life.
As
So
in,
pretty much everyone.
would be bad for us. Like
Sure, there's a role for that.
split.
But,
Well, no, I can hear what people are thinking.
oh, sure, but
Base
but
thoughts. Base
Well,
thoughts.
yeah.
Everyone's thinking the very much kind of like, this shouldn't be happening. What's going on? I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Where is X person? All that.
Yeah.
Could
Okay.
Chengatai
I will
try?
whisper to the rest of you. Like I'm getting some ambient feedback. So someone in here is partially connected to the hive, but
that's
I
not a
can't tell who.
surprise.
Could Chengatai try to
I can't
latch
tell you.
onto that feeling of the ambient feedback to like to actually get that taste of who is still connected? Because they would have probably gone over and checked on Angel because they met Angel
Sorry,
earlier.
Did you do your role?
I haven't yet. No.
Yes.
I would love to
sorry.
read a bad
Yeah, do a roll.
situation as we
This
case
was
the joint.
Me
Trying to
giving
get
you
info up.
the heads up.
So, facing the
more
joint, are we
information.
all staying with Robert, or are we splitting up? Are we looking around the place? There's like, this used to be a school. Like half of the school got turned into like some of the buildings next door. So it's not all very well laid out. There are some like meeting rooms. There are smaller rooms. There's like a tabletop gaming room because they're nerds in this town. Yes, Kestrel.
I think Chengatai had something they wanted to do. I don't know if anybody else can hear them at the moment.
Oh no,
No,
I
muted?
did. It's just that there was
sorry.
I had made a call to do a read a bad situation prior, but it
Okay,
can
cool.
hold. It's fine.
No. We'll do the read a bad situation, and then Chenge will do whatever they need to do to support.
For sure, because we get +1 forward when acting on that info, so it'd be to your
Perfect.
benefit.
Big slay. So
absolutely.
is everybody with Robert, or are people splitting up is what I'm asking as well while you roll this up for me.
I will stay close to Robert.
I
Kind of sensing.
would stay with Robert, I believe.
Okay.
I would.
We're moving as a
Yeah.
unit, so very
Sure.
good.
Magical people are doing stuff, and I'm just like, are you people okay? What's up?
Yeah, please do. Please do.
No, they're
let us
not actively.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, so I'm just,
know.
I'm here for like moral support.
For sure. I mean, that's super important considering the circumstances at hand. Anyway, rolled a 6 plus sharp, so that's to an 8, and we have the +1 on going for the recap, so that's to 9. So I hold 1. Of the list of options here, since it's a new session, people might not know what these options are. It is what's my best way in, best way out, any dangers we haven't noticed, what's the biggest threat, what's most vulnerable to me, and what's the best way to protect the victims. All things considered, let's go for what's the best way to protect the victims as we look through the space for the layout and any tools we can find.
Mhm.
Okay. Best way to protect the victims. Robert is very good at observation. Robert has great observational skills.
Hmm.
It used to be an important change has happened in how this bleaching of emotion is being spread. The first 2 people, probably not the first on the timeline, but the 2 people that you know were directly attacked
Mm-hmm.
were attacked by a creature
Mm-hmm.
that has been growing. There was the only thing that touched the newscaster lady was another person who was already infected.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So this spreading has grown. It was skin to skin contact. You're not sure whether clothes play a part or not, but skin to skin contact is a new
At this
method
point,
of
enough as transmission. Sure. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So you know that. So if there is a way to protect people against skin to skin contact, that would be an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else could be an idea. What else could you protect people? All the windows and doors are barricaded, so that's
Mm-hmm.
very good. That's very good indeed. And then beyond that, um, maybe moving them up to a higher level and blocking the stairway or something could be an idea. Because if you want to get up to the roof, you can. The roof atop the gym is flat,
Mm.
Mhm.
and there is roof access. You know that there is a small community garden up there.
Mm-hmm.
So putting people on the roof might be an idea. Putting people on the upper levels might be an idea. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that info. And to loop into what Chengatai is preparing to do, um, uh, Danny, thank you for the information in terms of that there is still a suspicious element here. But we can't assume that anyone here is actually genuinely malicious under the current circumstances. They
No,
may be-
no, no. I don't believe anyone's malicious. I just believe that there may be 1 or 2 people infected already.
Exactly. And considering that we've seen the way that they can now transmit being connected by a skin to skin contact, there are 2 things that we can do in short order. 1, get everybody to calm down enough to make their way upstairs. So if this building is subsumed, they are not immediately in the line of fire. And 2, make it clear to them that they need to not be physically touching each other while this is going on. Chengatai,
Mhm.
would you mind helping Rosie calm people down and move them upstairs? I
Of
wouldn't be able
course.
to do it alone.
That is no problem. Chengatai is going to kind of try and situate themselves as kind of close to the center of the people as possible, and I'm going to try and manipulate someone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, give me good rolls. Oh, nice. Okay, so I rolled a 9, and that's +1, so 10.
Big number.
10, big number.
Mhm.
Ooh. 10 plus. They'll do it for the reason you gave them. And this is a very reasonable request. It is just, what are you telling them to do? Just like move. Where are you moving them to? What is the order here?
So the first thing we want to do is try and like temper kind of the emotions of fear, just so they're a bit more pliable to listen to instructions. And I'm just going to essentially repeat what I was said and say, okay, people, we know that you were quite alarmed and people are trying to get in. The best way to defend your us all would be to limit as many access points as possible, and that would be by taking all of us up to the roof. We all know there's only one entrance to the roof, so that will be a lot more easier to barricade and protect. So we all need to make our way up there, but you cannot touch each other on the way up. We know how this thing is spreading. You've probably all seen loved ones get infected in some way. We need to socially distance from each other. We should all be quite familiar with that concept
Dang, COVID happened in this world? Okay.
now.
We live in a post-COVID fantasy world.
Mhm.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, everybody starts getting out. Everyone starts walking around, and now as the stream of thoughts is moving, Eridani, Gary is walking with a limp. He's
Mm.
walking slower, like he's talking to himself. He's just saying, "Come on, just move. Just listen to me, please. Come on, we have to get up."
Mm.
Oh, can't
You're
hear you.
muted.
Oh, lower
You're
ear.
so muted. You are so muted.
Can I zoom in on Gary?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like in that.
Zoom enhance.
Well,
Mm.
as yes. I'm just gonna like hear that thought and be like, no, I think I need to focus on you, and just tapping the brick phone to do so. No, yeah. Uh, would reading a bad situation, like indirectly targeted at Gary, work in this situation, or would I want to try and
I'm pretty sure
manipulate
there might be a
them?
telepathy one around here.
So
Maybe
telepathy
empath.
specifically. Oh,
Roll me empath, which is going to be plus weird.
okay. That's a 6 and a 3, and 9 on a dice, plus 3. 12.
Mm.
12. You get an impression, uh, and you may ask one follow-up question. Who who will answer honestly? Dang. Okay, book. Uh, dang. Evil hat out here telling me to tell the truth. There's a numbness to him. Not entirely. Not like the zombified people. It's like instead of the emotions that were being targeted, his body got targeted first. And it started low enough that it started small enough that the effect wasn't great enough yet. As if maybe something that had just recently hatched from its egg. Gary was the first person to be there at the scene. We all saw the video.
Mhm.
Wasn't able to fully do the effect because it just wasn't big enough yet. So it attacked the body. Somewhere on Gary's leg is a tiny bite mark. As small or smaller than a mosquito's bite. They don't bite. They can't use bikes. They can't do that. They don't have legs. Well, they do, but they, now somebody draw that. Somebody just draw me like a mosquito on like a
On a bike.
one of
On the big
one of the
penny
bikes.
farthing, very
Yeah, on a penny.
Victorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, big ass wheel. Anyway, I can do this. There's a small bite, and it has spread a physical numbness. He is slowly losing the ability to move his body, starting with one of his legs. Though he is not fully suffering the effects, he is infected.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can I use another move in response to this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't say no to you guys.
Good. Okay.
Up until you ask, can I win?
Yeah, there's no winning in
Well,
storytelling.
yeah, because I don't actually have an extra question for you for that empath
Oh,
thing.
fair enough.
I just want to see if I can just tell
Hey,
Carrie.
you found patient 0. Congratulations.
Yeah, just tell Carrie it's okay.
If you want to do another
We're
move,
good here. Yeah.
instead of asking me the question, we can just take the next move you want to do with relating to
Mhm.
Gary as a success.
Okay. Cool. So
'Cause I don't want us to
Gary.
be here getting too bogged down in the dice and not telling the story.
Yeah. So in that case, Gary hears in his head, in a voice much like the sound that the creature is pushing through the hive mind, and says, "It's okay, Gary. Just stay here. You don't need to move. You can just stay here."
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
You see, he just kind of sits back down on the bench that he was sitting on.
mhm.
Okay. Can I make an action based on seeing this sudden change?
Yeah.
I would like to take a playbook out of Uncle Robert's book and banish this thing from Gary because it's going to be obvious that okay, everybody else listened.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't listen, so there was a reason he was singled out.
Hmm.
So Chengatai is going to trust what's happening right now and just by instinct latch on to Gary to try and banish whatever
Yeah. Please give me the
is
roll.
impacting him. Let's go.
And please use up the +1s now before the break.
That not happened yet.
I don't
Good point.
It's a single use, not an
trust you
ongoing.
that well.
I will bear that in mind.
Hey, not to everything.
I
Come on
haven't
now.
used it yet.
Those
but my
recaps
dice
were
rolls are
good. They
definitely
weren't
gonna
that
cut.
good. They weren't perpetual
Hey.
+1 good.
No, good to know.
Beautiful.
That's
Okay,
fair. That's
so
fair.
I rolled an 11 with my weird. That is
Oh.
a 14.
Ah,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Very
I love
nice.
these high rolls. Yes. Yeah, you use a
I hope
manage.
this
You
isn't the
you
last
banish it. You see
Mhm.
as he sits down, he's kind of been wearing this like I hate to put this on my people, but he's been wearing like a really long like elf larp cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you see it falls down and he's wearing shorts. And you did see that like going all the way like halfway up the calf, almost towards the knee,
hmm
was just the grayness. And as you say that, as you banish it, which will you please describe what it looks like as you banish it?
So as I banish it, it's going to be similar to what it looked like for Tallulah. I'm going to grab just a random object that I can find on the
A
ground.
basketball.
Yeah, let's make. Oh my God, Space Jam flashbacks.
Very good.
So essentially, I'm just going to grab a basketball and like just press it right against that entry wound, and it is going to look exactly as Space Jam. I'm going to suck the devourer essence, I suppose, out of Gary, and it's going to change the color of the basketball from that orange that we all know
And love.
to a very muted gray scale basketball.
All right, yeah, you do that. You dribble up that court. You get
3 points.
yeah, you absorb the grayness. You shoot a 3, and you make it.
Hey!
And you see Gary now has regained like it's like he had pins and needles in his feet. He just kind of shakes out his leg. And he stands up and he says, "I'm gonna go join the others. Thank you."
You're you're okay. You're welcome. But
A
remember, no touching still.
Mm.
Oh,
I
okay.
think as he starts to try and move away, is that actually before you move, I'm going to ask you a question that is going to sound very strange, but I still want you to go and entertain it seriously.
Sure, man. Whatever you want. You cured my leg by pressing a basketball against it.
Yes. You could hear them, couldn't you?
Cure who?
The I guess the wider connection to everything else that's been happening.
He gives you a confused look, and Robert, you put it together. He, in his soul, could recognize the voice, but I don't think he's ever fully heard it because he was never fully infected.
I think this is for the best. And there is a reason why I'm going to be asking him to do this and not Danny, because I want Danny to be able to do cooler shit than what I have in mind. We need to go and set up some radio equipment. And there's going to be a very specific frequency that we need to tune it to. And I
Okay.
don't know what it sounds like, but I think you do.
I've been having like a strange ringing in my ears ever since I went out to look at the meteor. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Latch on to what that felt and sounded like.
Okay.
This will be... I admit I've not watched many of your videos, but this is probably going to be the most important broadcast you'll ever do.
Hey man, this is my YouTube. He starts talking to you about his YouTube channel.
No, stop. I don't care. Just...
Nope. Okay, perfect. Yeah,
that
okay,
was not
fair,
the
fair,
time.
fair,
I
fair.
kind of like
Takes too
wheel him
hard.
off. Again, not making physical contact, but kind of
Atlantis
aggressively
makes
gesturing.
sense. Why would
Oh
he
my
write
God.
about it if it wasn't real? Okay. So waits for instruction.
Yeah, kind of directing him over to where some of this radio equipment we've kind of wheeled into the building is set up.
Awesome. I'm gonna say that you actually you've moved all that back up to the roof. All of you get the people to safety. So the people who are going up to the roof to help set up are all there. He is helping you set up. What do you want him to do?
Yeah, not to. Please interject on the kind of... We're going to be getting into increasingly this is not real things occurring. So please do add to the pile of pseudo
Yeah, hey,
I will be
you want
adding.
to attune to the frequency of a being from outer space? Yeah, sure.
You know, so as we're kind of like busying around, Robert kind of addresses Rosie. It's kind of funny. In most of the jobs that we end up doing between Danny and Chengatai and I, it's mostly human intelligence work, just connecting with people and driving them away from the things that could hurt them. It's very rare that we end up having to do anything drastic.
She's like hunched over a spool of tangled wires, trying to get them plugged into the right places. I mean, look, I'll believe you, but I'm finding it very hard to sort of put together the human element and the alien element right now. But for what it's worth, I think we've all come up with an idea that taps into something very important to the human heart, and that's got to count for something.
It always does. But once we get everything set up, just playing the music out loud may not do too much, since it is a mental network that they're connected upon. So we need to tap into that network so everybody can hear it. And the YouTuber over there, he kind of gestures blithely over his shoulder, is going to be doing our best to tune things up to the correct frequency. He's...
I look over at Gary. It's like, you good for this? Okay, well, you can't.
Yeah. I used to run a podcast in college. I can sort all this up. I help on some gigs.
Perfect. All right.
If you give me a frequency, I'll find it.
I look to Robert again. You good to give us a frequency?
More or less. The best that I can do is make sure that this is a technological conduit between real electronics and metaphysics. It's not think like an adapter in a computer to get it from one input to another. We
You were
need to
losing
get
me,
it
but then you
from
got
the
me again.
yeah, we need to get it from the electrical to the brainwave, I suppose.
And as you're all discussing the plan, you're setting up the tech, you have the instruments, you're formulating your plans. You're up here on the roof. You have a good view of the town ahead.
Mm.
It is you guys are like it's weird because like the school was built on the outskirts of the town, what used to be, but now there are still a couple buildings behind it. But you're kind of in a diagonal angle where you can kind of see down the full main road of the town.
Mm.
Mhm.
As you're talking, silence, a rumble in the ground, the sound of a wall being torn, broken apart. You look down, you see the mural painted onto the old abandoned uh, fireman's house or fire station. That's it. All the color that was painted by the children and the citizens of this town completely washed out. Rumbles, rumbles, as it breaks apart, chunks of wall and bricks exploding out forward, as from it emerges an enormous cloud of smoke. You can't see exactly what it is as it crawls out. Crawls out. The majority of its body is still along the road, but then you can see that the front part of it crawls up to uh, surround and constrict around the old clock tower of the town. You hear that the bell begins to be rung, and then you hear a crunch as metal is destroyed within a massive claw, as a enormous insectoid being becomes visible beyond and above the cloud of smoke, with one enormous gray eye looking at you, and you all feel the scream because there is no sound, but you feel the shockwave of the scream engulfing the entire town. And that is where we're gonna take our break.
Mhm.
Ooh, no, thank you.
Oh.
No, thank you.
It's a big boy.
Nope.
No, thank you. Be back in around 10. We'll see how this pro bono concert, pro bono for the forces of good and unity of this town works, or will it all turn into a black and white nothingscape?
Wait, we're not
See
getting
you on
paid
the
for
other
this?
We'll find out.
Who knows? Hello.
Hello.
No, they're punching me, little old me. No,
Oh my god.
no,
Why
Why
guys.
would they
This is
treat their
entrapment.
GM like this? Oh no.
All right, welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us now, hello. Welcome to Horde of Tales. This is a Monster of the Week game sponsored by Evil Hat Productions. It is called Colourless. It is about a little bit of cosmic horror that came into this little unassuming town in southern England and drained physically the color and emotionally the sense of individuality, belonging, pride, diversity from this town. Where we left off before the break, our investigators returned to the town to find the rest of the townspeople zombified, having been taken over by this hive mind. And we went from a Lovecraft to World War Z very quickly. They stole a van from a newscaster channel, from a news channel, and drove that motherfucker down to the
Channel
community
4.
center.
We didn't
Channel
steal it.
4.
We had permission. In fact, the guy was even with us.
They
Yes.
quote unquote stole it. The guy was with them, but he kind of said, "Do
We
whatever."
appropriated it.
Mhm. It's for a good cause.
Pride.
Very,
Absolutely.
very much so.
Absolutely.
Having appropriated a vehicle, hey, They drove over to the community center where the few non-zombified people of the town remained, and as they were setting up their sound equipment to put on an impromptu little bit of a concert to see if they can put some pizzazz back into this zombified town, they saw the Devourer, an insectoid centipede millipede. Okay, anybody here? Hands up if you watch anime The Last Airbender. Okay, good. Now, do we all remember Ko the Face Stealer?
Oh, so creepy.
Ah,
Good.
Yes, an insectoid centipede like kaiju sized creature where at its front, instead of like a giant maw, it has a crown of teeth surrounding a central eye. This eye, you all see beaming a psychic scream out throughout the entire town. As it crushes the bell from the bell tower of the town, you see that uh, the cobblestones, the wood, the painted walls of the building, all the color drains into it as the gray iris turns rainbow, then drains back to that gray, and you see that the creature expands in size as it is starting to physically drain the color from this entire town now that it has most of its inhabitants. And it is heading your way. And underneath it, you
Yay.
see spilling out from the old abandoned fire station hundreds, probably even thousands of zombified townspeople begin sprinting down to the community center. How are we all doing?
Love
what
this for
is that
us.
thing? That's Rosie's reaction.
Yeah, the idea of there just being a wall of sound loud enough to shake you, but you can't hear it. It feels the same kind of energy of when you start crying, but you don't know why. And I think just kind of looking at
Mm.
this eldritch being, Robert just starts weeping in surprise at this wave of force and clearing it, wiping one eye with one hand, rummages around at his waist for the other, and pulls out that large and nasty revolver you've seen him carry a couple times. Who? I need to go down there.
Do you see the zombies running at us at full speed right now? Down
Peepaw
there?
has a
But there
gun.
needs to be a first line of defense before they reach this building, and I will do my level fucking best.
I don't know how helpful the revolver will be. There has to be something. We can enchant your revolver? Yes.
You can indeed. And this revolver is something else, my dear.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. So if it's already something else, an enchantment would just add to whatever kick has got. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Chingatai is going to enchant this revolver with as much juice as they possibly can.
Absolutely. Juice a revolver.
A juice revolver. Okay, so that was a 7.
Oh, plus you're like
And
3 weird. That's at least a 10.
yeah, that is a 10. So I should be, yeah, that should
Mm,
be enough, right?
yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Okay,
Enchant
yeah,
weapon that gets +1 harm and the magic tag, which is perfect. Thank you very much.
you're very welcome.
Lovely. Magic tag. Now, this is just for a little bit extra. Is there a magical effect that you would like to tie to this? There's no set list here. Just kind of. Is there anything
Ooh,
that you would like this gun to be able to do?
Hmm.
something to do with rainbow and color, I think. Or would that feed it though?
Well, you can see the only time that it's actively grown and drained something was
Mm-hmm.
direct contact with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you
Mm-hmm.
don't know whether these zombies, the zombified townspeople, grabbing a new person
Mm-hmm.
would feed through the hive mind,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
or if it is just that this creature has to physically be touching this, or and that it only the hive mind spreads through contact.
Ooh, a suggestion. Since
Yeah.
Chengatai is essentially the mirror image of how this thing works, maybe you give the bullets of this gun draining properties. So it's
Yes,
kind of draining the vibrance out of the
out of
body
them.
upon shooting it.
Mhm.
That is exactly what I was thinking. Like when you shoot, the bullets absorb that and then they exit their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Is
So
that
you're
something?
trying to
Diminish it.
so instead
Yes.
of trying to like return color, you're taking away.
We're
I
taking away the
intend to use
grayness.
this gun to
Perfect.
try and specifically shoot the big bug, rather than I don't think
Yeah.
psychologically Robert could bring
Could shoot the
himself
people.
to fire a gun on a towns member.
That's
But
so real and so fair. You have enchanted this gun now.
Mhm.
Um, perfect. I'm gonna say, this gun now works in a way to kind of like restore. It has a restorative property to it,
Mhm.
where if you were to train this gun onto a zombified townsperson, you would be able to knock them out of it.
mm,
Ooh.
You would be able to separate them from the hive mind.
okay,
Shooting the devourer,
Mhm.
you are person sized. The devourer is like
Building
town
sized.
block
of
sized.
course,
Yeah.
indeed.
So I don't know that you have the amount of bullets necessary to kill it in its current state.
Of
Mhm.
course not.
But if you could
Uh,
figure out a way to weaken the devourer,
mhm,
Yes.
hey, your chances might be better.
mhm.
Random question.
Random answer.
So, since this is an oldish enough town, I would assume that they might have some like historical monuments, maybe like, I don't know, a cannon or
Hmm.
something. Like, just kind of like decoration in the town square, maybe.
Your random answer is lemon. Your actual answer is yeah, sure. There's definitely some historical stuff here. There is a small town. Um, there's a small town, like a little town museum. It's
Hmm.
not really a museum. They call it that. It's a wing of the library.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it would probably be in the library,
Okay,
which the library is currently under
that
the
thing.
the
Yeah.
the devourer. Yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
yeah.
Marvelous. So yeah, in enchanting the gun, I like we kind of do this ritual together. He drops the bullets out of it, and the your spell like makes these bullets of vibrantly colored light manifest within the
Yes.
chambers of
Mhm.
this gun instead, which he
Love
puts
it.
away.
Yeah. Does Robert have any magic relating to teleportation?
I do not. At least
All
not
right.
without just saying use magic as a thing, but I think he would be inclined
Mm.
to physically move through the space. He's not an inherent
Okay,
wizard.
perfect.
Is there big magic that relates to teleportation, though?
More than anything, I'm just saying for the cannon because you know where the cannon is. I will
Mm,
leave it up to you whether you think you would have a way to get that
Get
cannon here
or not?
absolutely. Okay.
and get it working.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. The others. What are we doing?
I'm setting up the sound system with Gary at the moment. With Robert
Gary.
about to head out, I'm flustered now, and I'm rushing through the process to make sure this ends as quickly as possible.
Okay. Okay. So you're
You'll
just
be
you're
okay.
setting this up. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And Eridani, how are we feeling? How are we doing? You now see the devourer, and you
Hmm.
recognize it as the source of the hive mind's voice.
Yes. Um. How? Actually, no, I won't do that. Yeah. Okay. So, Danny just draws their other and
Mm-hmm.
their 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 gun, crosses them, and then stands like facing Devourer here on the roof, but with Rosie behind them. So it's in the way and
Okay.
very much like, we're here. You're okay. You just keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, bug.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Very good.
Mm.
Now, Bobbert,
Mhm.
are you staying up on the roof?
No. We're moving this thing along and taking big swings, even though obviously out of character put my character in danger. That is the point.
Hey,
We're just gonna
respect the
like
big
big
swing.
damn heroes just vault off the roof and start
Oh.
sprinting towards.
You're an old man.
Uh
We do
huh.
have the van outside if you want to land on that as well.
Yeah, but an old man who has trained in
To fight
heels,
these things. Hmm.
like the
That's true.
parkour.
You are an
The
old man, but
parkour
you
is
are
strong.
also a drag queen, and that kind of has to count for something. No, you're right.
Sort of counteract each other, yeah.
I would love to just act under pressure to get myself to the front lines to intercept this wave of people coming at us.
Lovely. Okay. On your sheet, do you have a rating for your armor?
Do I have an armor rating? I don't think I actually have armor by default. Let me double check that though. I'm going to say no for now, and let me know what that do in the process of me preparing to do an act under pressure.
Okay. Nothing. That was just for me to know for later.
Sure. In terms of resisting the damage I take, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm in mortal peril if I get hit too much.
If you're not wearing any like
Nice.
a proper, let's just call that like you have an armor of 1.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Like your scholar jacket is padded, but it's padded well.
All right, let's act under pressure. I
Yeah.
have the ability. I've read about this sort of thing, so I get to roll sharp instead of cool. when
Lovely,
acting under
lovely.
pressure.
And
Ooh,
what is the
that's
act
already
that you're
pretty
trying to
good. That's a
do?
9 plus my sharp
Oh.
of 2 pushes it to an 11.
Heck yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you see this old man holster the gun, take 3 quick steps towards the edge of the roof, and just vault off the edge.
Real?
Parkour lands, so hits the ground and tumbles
Rolls.
forward into the kind of 3-point hero pose and starts dashing towards.
No, his
this,
knees.
That's why you got to roll on the impact.
Mhm.
And starts dashing towards this kind of like wave of people trying to
You
make
know
their way
what?
towards the building.
What was the total you got?
11.
11. You do what you set out to do. If you had gotten a 12, which do you still have the hold from the
I
recap?
do still have that one hold, and I could spend it. What
Here's
would I
the
get if I
offer.
spent it? Uh-huh.
Here's the offer.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, you managed to redirect the zombified townspeople that were attacking the community center to go chase after a decoy van.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming back now.
Mm-hmm.
They will start to try to find access ways into the community center. Failing that, they will probably start to try scaling the community center. But you are one of the people that has been singled out by the Devourer as one of the last people here in the town that is not under the Devourer's influence.
Push to
If you
12 to
get
draw
that-
aggro.
If you push it to a 12, they will not go to the community center. They will be chasing after you.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Oh no.
We're going to lose this old man.
Oh no. Oh well.
Yeah, no, yeah, he
feels for
lands, pulls the gun and levels it at the kind of a approaching horde of people,
Mm-hmm.
and says as loud as he can. I won't yell too loud, and I don't want to mess with my gain.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
I will not let Nortonsbury fall.
It's so dramatic. I love
So
him.
cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, all of the rest of you, plus Gary, plus anybody else who's on the roof, sees this old scholarly man. Well, I say old. He's in his early to mid 50s. Like, he's fine.
mid-50s, yeah.
He's like mid 50s. You see that? You see this like scholar pull out an old ass gun, get the bullets imbued with some kind of weird ass magic. Tumble, 3-point land, zombie horde approaching, devourer towering over the town, and just start going. Welcome to the Jungle starts playing.
Yes.
As you start running. Perfect. Rosie, let's see. You can also give me an act under pressure.
Had a feeling.
As
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are going to start setting up the tech here.
I'm pointing at Gary like, make sure you get that frequency set up, put those cables there, get those mics set up properly.
And you know what? Gary is going to help you out.
Oh, thank God.
The way we're
What
going
does
to
it
do
help
this,
you for me?
he's going to roll his plus cool, which I am going to say he has a -1 to cool because he has
Makes
a
sense.
YouTube conspiracy theory channel,
Yeah.
and that kind of sucks. So that is an 8. So Gary he grants you a +1 to this roll. He also exposes himself to some danger, and we'll get onto what that danger means later.
So that will get me up to an 8.
8. Lovely. Yeah, you start setting up a lot of this this tech. You have one successful check for setting up this soundstage. We are acting not in like other TTRPG systems have like a bullet time. This is a little bit more generous with the time that we have here. What I'm still gonna say that you need 3 successes to fully get this set up before you can start playing and
Gotcha.
stuff. Gary is trying to help you out. There are all, I will remind you if you want to put them. Actually, no. Gary does that, but he says, "Oh, I need some help." Hey, and he calls to the people that he can see. Like there's a window to the stage, and him not being privy to the amount of danger that you all are in, ushers people in, and other townspeople. You see, Angel comes out and also will start helping you. So you're gonna get another bonus to your next check, but more people are up here with you. That just happens. The others, what are we doing? Chengatai, what's going on?
Right. So seeing Uncle
Where are you
Rob have
posting up?
this like seeing Uncle Rob do this like badass stuff, like
Mm.
I'm just going to feel like really
Like, let's go on.
invigorated. Yeah, I'm gonna feel that kind of like I'm gonna feel hyped as fuck, to be honest. I'm just gonna be like, okay, that was so cool. But I'm not that cool. Um but
Of
they're
course you
not
are.
but they're not going to stay up on the roof because they could probably feel that Rob is drawing a lot of this energy. So
Rob's
instead of
about to
doing a
take some heat.
superhero landing, because they're a little bit scared of heights, they are going to essentially go to the edge of the building, become incorporeal, and just kind of like sink through the front of this
Yeah, for
building,
sure, for sure.
and then just like waltz out of this wall with this massive sword. And as they do that, I want to enchant my sword
Mm-hmm.
with similar with actually a very the same enchantment that the
Yeah,
revolver got.
any zombified people that you hit with this sword
Yeah,
will be snapped out of it, will be severed from the hive mind.
so essentially a slice will then start like the I suppose the void will start leaking out of whatever like
Yup,
hit they get.
yup.
So
Lovely,
let
love that.
me roll. Hopefully
Yeah, if you start like running now,
you're fine.
you'll get the back of the bunch of them that were going
Hmm.
after Rob.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll do that way. I will go for them, and
Yo.
I rolled
As
haha,
you,
I
oh
rolled a
yeah,
10.
oh god, beautiful, gorgeous. Yeah, uh, yeah, 100%. You managed to quote unquote cut down. You managed to sever. Let's call that. You managed to sever 4 people with one slice.
Nice. Okay.
You bring down your sword. You see 4 people, and you go, what's going on? What's going on?"
Uh, get away from the center. Just run out of the town.
Oh god.
Just go. No questions. Just go. You need to leave.
Okay. And they start running away from the town. Lovely. At this, having had its connection severed to some of them, the devourer sends out another psychic scream as it leaps down from the buildings and starts barreling towards Robert and yourself. I'm going to need both of you
I would love to
to
kick some ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woohoo! You will have a chance to.
Hmm.
I'm going to need both of you
Mm-hmm.
to just roll me a quick little recovery roll.
Okie dokie.
Hmm.
This isn't how the mechanics work, but I like
Okay,
how
sure.
they're gonna
Is
work.
there a modifier or is it just straight 2d6?
You know what? Yeah, just roll me your give me just like a normal roll. Give me as if it were a act under pressure roll, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. No, what? Oh god, so many cool things to roll. It's gonna be protect someone, but the someone is yourself.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay.
Plus tough.
Yeah, plus stuff.
That's
Cool.
Apologies for the waffling.
That puts me at a
Yes.
9.
9.
And I'm at a 10 with my +2 for tough.
10. 10. Changatai, you're fine. Robert,
Mhm.
the psychic scream hits you.
Mm.
You gain the thought. What was the name of your husband again?
Salvador.
Salvador, yes.
Salvador.
Mhm.
Uncle Sal.
Oh,
Do
You
I, in the screen,
momentarily-
briefly forget Salvador?
No, you don't. You could never forget Salvador. But you do have the brief thought. If only I cared less, this wouldn't hurt as much.
Hmm.
And any rolls that you do from now on relating to the Devourer are going to have a -1 penalty.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, damn.
As you start to not pull your punches, but your heart's not fully in it.
Hmm.
Anyway, you said you wanted to kick some ass. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Fresh roll.
So that -1 is to attack the Devourer directly.
Anything relating to the Devourer directly
Mhm.
will be at a -1.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah.
As you look at the Devourer and a wave of apathy just washes over you.
Ooh.
He again at that kind of feeling the almost like the hair and clothes blowing back against the wave of sound, but we don't hear it. And again, he starts weeping and is not sure why. But one of the kind of thralls comes within melee range at this point. And yeah, he rolls to kick some ass. Rolling
yeah.
plus tough.
There's a small like wave of thralls in front of you as you see that originally the thousands have now petered out as people have started to like go through alleyways to try get around you, and people are taking alternate routes since they are still using their knowledge of the town and are splitting off instead of all just barreling down the one street.
Yeah, they're not mindless beings. They're all
No,
using
no.
the knowledge of each other to do things. That was a 6, by the way, with modifier, so I do fail that kick some ass.
Okay. So, what were you trying to do?
So, in a perfect world, he would have met the first kind of person in the wave head on and kind of essentially gun catted and fired the gun directly in the thing in that thrall's chest to blow the kind of evil out of them. But that does not happen because we do not succeed.
No, that does not succeed. Your revolver shoots misfires as a thrall is now within arm's reach of you. But we're gonna move it back up to Rosie, or actually no, we're gonna move it down to Eridani. Apologies, Eridani. What's going on? You're muted.
I am not muted anymore.
Not
I
anymore.
am up here on the roof, standing at the edge, sword in one hand, my other, and the gun in the other, standing in front of them, but also surveilling from above what everything in front of me. And I wonder, did I get the echo of that psychic scream, or is
You got the echo, but like the first time around, you were too far away for the effects to be triggered onto you. But you got the like, oh, another scream was heard.
right? I'm just trying to think if there is anything I can do with that connection to make the
Wow.
well, no, not being mean to you
That's
necessarily.
fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Is there any way that I can interfere with my enemy to make any further psychic screams or anything else less effective? I.e., they do not do anything.
Ooh, how could you try to affect this psychic stream? It is screaming, yet it has no mouth and it creates no sound.
But I am in its
Uh,
head.
But you are in its head.
Something to do with
You
the neural pathways?
you could. I think that if you tried to somehow attack neural pathways, that's an idea. If
Mhm.
you otherwise, like you are planning to drown out the sound physically with music,
Mhm.
you could try to drown out the commands mentally.
Mhm.
I don't know what you would want to roll to try do that or how you would even
So
interpret that, but I think that there is a world where you find a way to try to disrupt its commands mentally.
yeah, in that same kind of jinx way, in the like as if the phone that doesn't work, that never quite connects to the network, that addition of the static on the line or the dial-up that
Yes, yes,
never
yes.
quite reaches its connection, like adding a little jinx magic to that. Okay. Oof. That's not as good. That is a 6 on the die, plus 3 weird. So 9. I.
9, that's good. That's
No,
good.
it is good, but I kind of want. Can I mark luck? Can I just do that? I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, go on ahead.
Yeah, let's. I know.
Yeah. When you spend a point of luck, pick 1, decrease the wound you have or you have suffered to 0
Change the
harm.
roll.
After you roll, retroactively change your roll to a 12.
Yes. So I've changed my roll to a 12, but
Lovely.
what that looks like is actually above the table, because I know that it's an ask, not technically self-harm, but one of the spooky features that I've taken, the way that darkness affects me, is pain and secrets and poor impulse control. I was going to have it kind of show as a mark somewhere on me. Is that okay with everybody?
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'll go with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I have to take the
Hmm.
physically. There's a physical representation of me using luck, forcing luck to be on my side when
Heck
like
yeah, I love
actively.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So with that 12, did you describe what it looks like as you try to? Are you trying to shut the network, the network of the hive mind off?
I want to disrupt it. So it's sowing confusion. So like
Okay, yes,
actively
perfect. Yeah.
interfering. So they're
And
like,
what does
oh,
it look
go
like?
after this person. So it's in this connection to the creature. Danny opens their mind just that little bit wider and is kind of humming across the line, but humming in a very discordant way.
Mhm.
So it's kind of almost like the notes that the creature are pushing down the line are in a direct opposite, so they just become a little bit more distorted
Like a
and
solid tritone just kind of starts being played on.
Oh.
All the music nerds just said, "Huh, no, not the tritone. No, get it away from me." Yes,
Evil
you do
sound.
that. Oh, the evil sound. Yes, you do that, and you see everybody just kind of, yeah, all the zombified peoples. Robert, the person whose hand was so close to your face, goes, pulls it away from you as it just holds its temples. You now see the devourer in its like advancing starts like pushing people out of its way as it is barreling closer towards you. Yeah, you do that. That's fine. Rosie, real quick, you're gonna add a +2 to this. Give me another act under pressure.
Yeah,
As
for sure.
both Angel and Gary got their shit together
Mm-hmm.
and are
Oh,
helping
well.
you.
So with my
Uh,
cool stat.
if
Oh, yeah.
you surpass a 10, this will count for 2.
Okay.
Mm.
So with my cool stat, I add 4 to this. Thinking about the help I'm getting. Okay.
So we had a baseline 6.
So that's 8 plus 4.
Okay.
2 from
Oh yes, awesome.
Angel and Greg, Gary,
Four.
and then 2 from my cool. So
Egg.
Greg.
60?
what?
That does sound like a 16 total,
Oh
yes.
no,
Yeah.
not 16. Sorry, 8 on my die, and then the 4 from.
Oh.
So 12
Well,
Hey, it
total.
doesn't matter. You
Well,
beat the
Still good.
difficulty.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are able to fully set this up. You are good to start singing, playing music, whatever you want to do up here. But before you get to do that, Guy,
Mhm.
what are we doing? You see now that all the zombified horde that is between yourself and Robert has kind of stopped stunned momentarily in this momentarily because
Mm.
of a psychic not scream but like psychic feedback, like a wrong note was just played in the symphony of commands
Mhm.
that has thrown everybody off. What are you doing?
I would like to. This might be technically two moves. So one, I would like to amplify that based on, because I assume I know these people. I've
Yeah.
taken a bit of their energy. So I'm going to use that knowledge that I have of those pathways to them directly
Mm.
to push that even further, to try and push that deeper into them.
Mhm.
And as I do that, I also want to be weaving through them while they're kind of like frozen, just kind of like little tiny nicks on people.
Oh, that can just be the physical representation of the actual move. Yeah,
Mm.
for
Okay, yeah,
sure, for sure.
perfect. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go, like, I just want to amplify what we're all doing collectively to try and get us over that line.
Mhm.
So yeah, hearing that note and seeing their reaction, just going to try and open their emotional pathways, I suppose, and just shove it down like even further.
Perfect. Yeah. What do you want to roll to get through this?
I don't know. Is that would that be technically a kick ass
Give me a kick
or
ass. Kick
okay?
some ass.
Big
Kick
smash.
some ass.
Some else.
Okay, so that
Kick
was
some
not
ass.
the best of rolls.
Welcome to the Jungle continues playing.
Yeah. Okay, that was not the best of rolls, but I do have plus 2, so that was a 9, and I could technically use my +1.
Yeah, I'll give you the +1 anyway,
Mhm.
just because we'll treat the shutting the confusion as a +1 anyway.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so then that's a 10.
Yo, 10, lovely. You managed to do that. People are very quickly becoming cut off from the network as you, like a hurricane, are pushing through. Now, you have on a 10, you choose one extra effect. You can get advantage, so +1 forward, or gives a +1 forward to somebody else, inflict a terrible harm, uh,
Ooh.
suffer less harm,
Mhm.
or force them where you want them.
I think, I think a terrible harm to the devourer would be really good right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll probably try and go for the devourer. Like, I'm going to obviously, once I do that, I'm just going to be shouting, get out of town, just go. But that terrible harm is just going to go directly to the devourer because I've heard it as well. So I mean, I think I would be able to connect to it in some way. But yeah, I'm just going to try and push back the messages it's been sending out.
Mhm.
As you push back the messages and you start to uh, words, sever people from its hold. You see, Robert, you see this too. Everybody see this. Anybody who's looking at the devourer sees that it's slowly shrinking.
Mm.
Ooh,
Where
yes.
before it was the size of like multiple buildings stacked together,
Mhm.
Hmm.
it is now about the size of like a couple buses put right one before one behind the other.
Mm.
It's still big.
Hmm.
It is like a Titanoboa maybe, but it is still yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey.
I'm sorry. But it is way smaller than what it was.
Hmm.
Okie dokie.
I assume it's still
As
advancing.
it is still it has kind of stopped advancing as it is wincing and like shaking as it is becoming smaller. Chengatai, you hear it for the first time.
Mm.
You were to be me. You were to be my emissary. If
Um,
I go, you are to come with me.
I am not going to let this town fall to the likes of you. If I go with you, it will be kicking and screaming.
Hmm.
And Changatai is going to like they're just going to try and like resolve themselves that hey, listen, this is a very dicey situation, but the town matters more to them, like their family, their friends, and they're like, no, I will not side with this thing.
Mhm.
Rosie, the network has been severely weakened. The Devourer is starting to lose size. You feel in this moment that you might be able to make the Devourer small enough that the two frontline people will have a chance. What are you doing on stage?
Yeah. So I've gotten everything set up. Rosie steps forward with an acoustic guitar with a line, and begins a song Danny would have heard many times before. This is one of the first songs Rosie wrote shortly after she ran away from home. Um, One she's like had Danny watch sort of the videos of her live performances when she was like sort of first doing them at like small charity gigs and stuff. And one that she's like sort of taught because it's a very simple set of like chords and finger picking stylings, but it is a song about sort of losing your way, not really having a direction to go in life, and feeling lost, but then finding yourself again through the power of music. With the repeating chorus line, "I miss the way that music made me feel," uh,
Mm.
and she
Aw.
sings that outward to everyone.
As you do this, hey, what is higher? You're tough or you're weird?
My weird's a -1. My tough is a 0.
Dang. Dang.
That's how squishy.
Yeah,
That's our squishy.
I'm here for a long time. I'm here for
For
a good time.
mine,
Hmm.
we're family.
Yeah.
Why is everything that I want this to be a weird thing?
Hey, make me roll weird. Let me fail this. This
Yeah,
sounds like it's
the
gonna be
the,
great.
the
We're gonna
mundane
count this
rolling
as
weird is very funny.
we're gonna
Yeah.
count this as magic.
Oh.
Roll me plus weird. We're gonna make this a use magic.
Can I help
And
in any
Absolutely.
way?
yes, please help.
Okay.
Desperately.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay.
Okay.
So, uh, what your who are you playing to? The town or
It's gonna
the
be the
creature?
town. Just roll me a
Okay.
help out. Just roll me
Okay.
a plus cool.
Cool.
Because I want to give
My cool is
Chengatai a
not
chance to
right.
do something
Yes.
cool
Mhm.
before before we lose Tendai.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a 7. So
Hey.
7. +1. +1 to the
yeah.
roll.
Awesome. So I'm rolling flat now. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh
4.
no. Oh
Oh.
no.
Oh.
Ah.
4. You start to sing, your voice cracks. You're just this is the most important stage of your entire life. Doesn't matter if you're at on a stadium, this is it.
Hmm.
And your voice breaks right at the beginning. The devourer begins to get a little bit bigger, starting to recover.
Hmm.
Chengatai and Robert, there's a
Hmm.
split second between where it's diminishing and when it
Mhm.
begins to regrow and re-expand. What do you do in that split second?
Robert puts away the revolver
You might not be
and
able to kill it, but you might be able to severely weaken it.
and pulls out the spell book that he kind of gathered in the first episode alongside that revolver. It looks like a book for financial records, but it's got all these kind of like spell tags and seals on it, holding it closed.
Mhm.
And with one hand, he tears that book open. It is a ledger that is this is a book used for exchanges,
Mhm.
not just financial exchanges, but exchanges of near anything. To get
Mhm.
what you want, all you need to do is give up something in kind. If Rose, if Rosie does not have the magical capacity to be able to go and cast this spell, Robert himself is not an expert magician, but he does have enough to get her there. And he pulls out a ratty-looking ballpoint that he uses to fill in crosswords, and fills in an entry within the ledger to give up something in exchange to give a very big boost to Rosie's magic capacity.
Perfect. Just roll that up for me. And while
Oh.
we do, Chengatai, what are you doing as you see the devourer?
So, seeing that kind of pause in it getting smaller,
Mm-hmm.
Chengatai is going to do something that's probably impossible with a sword. So they're going to get ready to essentially throw it like a javelin
Mm.
Sure.
at the devourer. And as they do so, they want to imbue the sword with all of the warm, lovely feelings that they've gotten from the people of the year. So they just kind of flicking through their memory and just kind of like essentially draining their own kind of life force, because this is how they like, this is
Mm-hmm.
their substance, those that they're taking that from themselves, putting it into the sword, and they're going to take a couple of runs with the sword and just fling it right at the face of, well, right towards the eye
Yeah.
of this thing.
Mm.
You do that. I'm not even going to make you roll for it, quite honestly, because you are willing to give up your very essence to
Mhm.
stop this thing from being able to feed. There is an explosion of light. And when we see the world again, Chengatai is no longer standing. The eye has gone to pure black, as the devourer has lost the ability to grow and feed on anybody else. Chengatai,
Mhm.
your spirit, your presence, you see Seraphiacus, you will be in this town forever because you have become the sense of home that this town so desperately needs. And with that, I know that you're on a rush. You gotta get places. Everybody, Chengatai, can you I'm sorry, Tendai, give us a real quick. Where can people find you? As we're gonna do a real quick like outro right now, and then we'll get back to the action.
Mhm.
Perfect. So, hi again, Tendai, they, them pronouns. You can find me on most of the social medias at Geek Chic Tea. I play, I'm a budding GM, but also I'm a sensitivity reader and a cultural consultant. So, if you need me for anything, do give me a shout. But yeah, it's been a pleasure playing in this game for you.
Perfect. Everybody, wave,
Bye. Kick some
salute.
ass,
Bye,
people.
bye,
We'll
Kill
do
that
our
we will
thing.
see
best.
We're
you.
gonna kick some ass.
Bye.
Bye.
Y'all gonna kick some ass. And we're back to the action. So, who
That
wants to
right.
act? Everybody has
Uh,
seen this. Everybody has seen that everybody saw the moment. Everybody saw Robert beginning to cast a spell, and in that split moment, Changatai ran up. There was an explosion of light as the sword connected with the devourer. Changatai is gone, but you all see that the hold on the townspeople is severed across the town,
Mm.
and the devourer is now the size of a small city bus. Robert, what was that magic that you were doing?
That was a 7 on that use magic roll, with my +1 weird bringing it above a fail. Thank goodness.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, of the list of specific things in use magic, I would say it's probably something in the ballpark of do something that is beyond human limitations, and that I am removing my own ability to use magic. I will genuinely drop my weird stat to give Rosie a weird stat to put her to a +1.
What is your weird stat?
+1.
+1.
I will go deeper than that if you need me to.
Do you want to?
Sure. I like the idea that it's kind of like I sign away my ability to cast magic at all to give Rosie the ability to.
Bringing you down to a 0, there's still the possibility, as you are casting this, that you know that someday you will be able to recast magic. Bring it down to a 0 with enough dedication, with enough time. If you bring it into the minuses, you will lose the ability to cast magic forever. But Rosie will be able to harness all of it.
Okay. I will ask above table, am I still able to fire the gun?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, I will
The
go
magic
to
is...
I will go to -1 magic then. Let's go.
Rosie, what was your magic stat? What was your weird
Mine
stat?
was at -1.
You're going to bring your weird up to... It had already been brought up a little bit by everything that was going on. I've lost track at this stage, quite honestly.
You were able to roll it
Danny helped.
at neutral before, if not positive?
Yeah, because help from...
Yes, exactly, from the help. The help still being there, you're going to bring your weird up to a +2.
Oh my god.
As your voice cracks, there's the light. You can hear Robert's chanting as if he is standing right next to you. In this language of the arcane, what encouragement does Robert give to Rosie as he passes his magic onto her?
In this suspended time of the spell being cast, I think as he explains this, you visualize it, so the camera sees just a history of small magic being cast to be able to keep a place safe, to be able to bring solace to somebody going through despair, to create chance meetings when people don't think there are other queers like them in the world, and they manage to, maybe by sheer luck, maybe not, run into somebody who can mentor them and give them that solace. All these small charms that have occurred, and it's never chance. It's always the will of people trying to find community and keep their community safe. That is the magic that holds places like this together. And you now know that that exists and that you've been a part of it before without realizing. You are also a factor in this spell circle that the queer umbrella moves through on a daily basis, but now you understand your role in it.
Rosie thinks back to when she first met Robert. No money, no fuel in her van, and almost completely out of options of how to get around, and him being the first person to offer substantial, deeply helpful guidance and compassion when she felt like she'd given nothing. And in this moment now says to herself, I won't let you down.
You say, I won't let you down. The voice rings true. You don't look behind you, but if you did, you would see almost like a fire. The fire that is within every single soul that cares and loves for this community, for what it can bring to people, for what it has brought to people, and for what it can be. And right on your shoulder, you feel an armored hand as the ghost of Seraphiacus looks down on you and says, "Your heart is mine, and my sword is yours." And you feel emboldened with strength, both magical and deeply mundane, because what is community if not mundanity? And what are you doing, Queen?
I think we've got to use magic again.
Oh my god, what?
Wow.
Roll that up for me.
Let's
While you're rolling it up for
roll.
me, what's Eridani doing as everything is going on? You can now see that what you started, this chain, this severing, this dissonance, has turned into a full chain reaction of the Devourer being completely split apart from the town.
Oof. I think I just need to support people.
Yeah, give me.
I
do you want-
can see it. I mean, I guess I see Jengatai give up that and become a spirit.
Mhm.
I can still see Jengatai. So
You see
there's a
Chengatai
sign.
now standing side by side with Rosie, actually,
Yeah.
back on the stage.
Yeah. So I guess I will come forward to Rosie and be that presence there, and then basically say, "Hey, I am no good with a voice, but I can work a drum."
Be my guest.
You get David's drum up from the stage. Roll me a help out.
Oh, what sorry, one of them fell off and was cocked. Aha! That is 11 on the dice. 12.
Oh, 12. Very good. You help them. They act as if they just rolled a 12, regardless of what they actually got. So, Rosie, power of the town, power of community, David's drum. What does it look like as you weaken the Devourer to its weakest point?
I think you literally see the notation fly from the performance in like the air and fly towards the devourer. These multicolored like music notes that are once again like filling the town with color, at the very least leaving a trail where it travels and completely envelops the monster we're fighting.
You do that. You strum your guitar, you start singing. Literally, sheet music starts flying out. It is multicolored, ever changing, ever bright. And as it flies over the townspeople that are in this little dazed state, as it flies over, they shake their head. They all start singing the song, even though some of them have never heard it, even though some of them do know it. Everybody starts singing the song because it is the sound of the town. As these rainbow notations surround and start to bind the devourer, they begin to constrict the devourer, much like Robert's bindings used to work. Robert, it is at its smallest point. It is the size of a car now. What do you want to
Robert
do?
goes over to the body of Chengatai, soul severed from it now.
The body is
It's
not
vanished.
corporeal. It is
Okay.
Chengatai
She
is
just moved off this plane into a
Chengatai is
metaphysical one.
fully a feeling. Chengatai is a spirit that is all encompassing. Chengatai feels like the sun rays of golden hour touching your skin and making you feel warm. Chengatai is now the feeling of a nice warm blanket wrapped around you, or a hot coffee, or hot chocolate, or a coffee shared with a friend over a pile of old books.
And I think there is an immediate visceral reaction to Chengatai not being there. She is Robert's niece, essentially. And having already, with time and just effort, it still hurts to think of Salvador, but he's managed to move on. He can continue to live life without the love of his life. And Chengatai, in some way, in many obvious ways, reminds him of Salvador. So there's an immediate feeling of I keep losing members of my family, and that's too much to bear. But no, she's here, and so is he. Really, they'll never be apart from him. As he walks up to the remains of the devourer and pulls the revolver. And I think in a different timeline, he would have said something pithy. He would have said pride is a protest, but eyes
would have got
filled
a
with
brick.
tears, barely looking at this thing, just puts it directly to the withering eye of the devourer and pulls the trigger.
You pull the trigger. Roll me a kick some ass with a +1
Sure.
that I will tell you where that comes from later. And you can disregard the -1 that I told you earlier.
Okay, so we're sitting at 8.
Sitting
I
at
have
8.
a tough of 1 to a 9 plus 1 to make it 10.
10. Please
Now,
describe to me the extra effect.
I do I
As
want
you
to be
destroy
indulgent?
this.
I'm going to be indulgent then. It's fine.
Be indulgent!
The last advance I took for this session, because we level up each time, is a precise strike. When you inflict harm on the monster, you can aim for a weak spot, roll plus tough. On the +10, you inflict +2 harm. 7 to 9, you inflict +1 harm. Oh, that's also pretty good. That is a 9. That's fine. An extra +1 harm. So the gun magically imbued does 4. Plus aiming for the weak spot directly shooting into the eye is an additional 1 harm. So this is a 5 damage shot.
As you shoot it, you don't see the moment that it connects to the eye. Because again, there's an explosion of light. This light is Vanta black. But then there's this sheen of darkness is pushed away as all the buildings around you, all the people were fine now. It was still the physical buildings of the town that were all in the grayscale. But a town isn't its buildings. I mean, sure, it helps to have buildings there, but buildings on its own does not a community make. And that is what this creature was trying to run on. Just the physical presence of the town without any of its heart. And you see here in this moment, the light and the color explodes out of this creature as color returns to the town.
Is it like I almost picture like a Kurosawa film style blood spatter in this kind of moment of it being a big flash of black and we get this white silhouette of the shot, and then color like blood starts pouring out of this thing,
100%.
and as it lands in random patches across the space, that color then
Start
starts
expanding.
leaking into the surfaces and creeping across everything that was previously colored monochrome. Robert is
Exactly.
covered in big splats of paint, essentially. Is
As that, essentially, yeah, your gun arm that was shaking ever so slightly, you feel a hand come around it, comforting hand to steady your aim. You look, you see the ghostly face of Salvador. It says, "You did it, my love. Thank you." You lower your arm. The devourer made you consider, was it even worth to still be feeling the pain? I think it was. Because the pain reminds us that we are still capable of love and forming those bonds. We're going to skip in time ahead. We're going to go a couple days. The main Pride Parade has already gone on without a hitch. With the splash of color miraculously, or maybe it was Shingatai pulling some strings behind the curtain of existence itself. The floats were rebuilt. The decorations were put up again, a little bit better than they were originally, actually.
Quite
Not
a
to
bit,
shade on
yeah.
Tallulah. the parade went off without a hitch. Everyone was happy. David was playing the drums with his mom and his aunt. Bunny had an incredible time with their friends, and everyone had a very good time. So, Sunday evening, it's around the finale of the Pride festivities. Where do we find everyone? Uh, Eridani, let's go with you first.
I hope it's okay, but you would find Danny with Rosie, right? Like, we haven't
Where are you
spent...
two?
Yeah.
I think if we're talking like after hours, or at the very least like sometime in the evening, I think I've got my own character's name for a second. Rosie is having drinks with just some of the other organizers of the event and some of the other like community leaders of Nortonsbury. And it's just sort of, I think for the first time, like mingling as part of the community and is like introducing Danny to people. It's like, it's my cousin. Oh, they're the coolest person in the world. Okay, so let me tell you all about this, this, and this. And it's just like, yeah, basically showing you off to people.
Mm.
As you're doing that, you see the director of the community center, who is David's dad. I'm sure why not.
Yeah.
Comes up, says, "Have you got any thought? Have you put any thought towards the offer?"
Oh, Bug, can you give us just a moment? I've got a... Yeah. I have actually. And I think I would be a fool to decline your offer. So you can expect me working there full time come the start of the new term.
Everybody everybody gets a little like confetti thing, flows into it.
Okay, everyone. Okay.
Mm.
Festivities go on throughout the night. Eridani, what? You get a message from one of the contacts at the order. As situation under control. That's good. Will we be expecting you back at headquarters soon, or?
And pauses, looks at Rosie, and types back. I think we'd give it a couple of months.
And Robert.
Antiquity is doing a meet and greet and signing at the Nibbles and Bites.
Aww.
And in kind of like wrapping up the event, kind of like, and do you mind that you take care of that book after I've signed it, dearie? It was valuable before, but it's definitely more valuable now.
You see the gaggle is all here. They're all just hanging out. They enjoyed a good little bit of drag story time earlier, and now they're just talking about their favorite books, eating pastries. Max is behind the counter, and you can't see her, but you know that Chingatai is right there with you. Chingatai holding one hand, Salvador holding the other, and you know that you've done an incredible job here.
You two, Honk and Hank, right?
Yep, yeah.
Yes, so unfortunately, we're going to need to make sure that this place continues to operate under the current circumstances, and I think you two could do with a part-time job. What do you say?
They both look at each other. They look at you. Yes.
Now, do you know how to make a beignet? As we kind of like pull away from the scene.
As we pull away from the scene, the entire town is enveloped in a warm blanket of community. Because that's what it's all about. And that has been Colourless. Thank you so much for watching. Let's outro our incredible cast. Lola.
Hey, I'm Lola, and Third Vault Yarns everywhere online except on itch.io, where I am Johnson O'Fair. So, yes, I write games, and you can buy them if you so wish. But also, you can find me occasionally on the interwebs, on different channels, doing things. I would say roll together RPG, but we're having the kobolds are having some technical issues at the moment. So
No.
soon,
Oh.
soon we will be back on there. But yeah, other than that, if you like yarn, find me at Fairful Yarns.
Destro.
Hi, I've been Kestrel and I've been Rosie. I hope you've enjoyed her. If you want to see more of me, I do some sound editing. You can find me on social media under the name Holocompass. I edit for Monster Lava Pod. And just before we started playing today, I finished editing our newest episode. So expect that in the next couple of weeks. Keep an eye on like where I am, or keep an eye on their social media to see like when that comes out. And now that I'm a little bit freer, I mean, if you want to hire me, still don't even think about it. I promise you, I will drop a website and I will make an announcement for when I'm available. But thank you so much again for the consideration. It means a lot to me.
I truly love that. If you want to hire me, no, you don't. Look away.
I'm so busy. Let me know.
Nathan.
Hi, I have once again been your androgynous android game show host in the future, Nathan Blades. You can catch me as the voice of Captain Oromar Vale on the Campaign Skyjacks podcast. You can buy my tabletop RPGs at theneoncaster.itch.io. And on Saturday and Sunday this week at time of recording, that's the 29th and the 30th of June, I will be doing a charity stream. I would miniature painting for Pride, supporting the LGBT Foundation based in Manchester. How that works is that your donations go towards what miniature I am painting. It is a bid war. I will change whatever I am painting to whatever is in the lead. So please do tune in from 1 p.m. both on Saturday, 1 p.m. UK time. That's 8 a.m. Eastern if you're a Yank. From yeah, you know, I know you're listening to this too. This is your early evening listening. I know you're in there. But yeah, please do come and support both a queer community, painting being made, and me being very stressed as I'm painting 4 different miniatures at once. Thank you
But
so
as you
much.
should. And as for myself, yep, I'm an Apollo. My name's Apollo. I'm a voice actor sometimes. A cosplayer. Looks at unfinished project. Cosplayer. Don't look at me. And TTRPG performer. You can find me online at TallNerdApollo. I'll be doing things on the interwebs. This has been an incredible opportunity. Thank you so much to HoT Tales and Evil Hat Productions. Go check out some of their games. They're all incredible. And hey, you've gone to the end of the Monster of the Week one. Why not just go watch the other ones now? This was the last one out of 3 separate mini campaigns. So, hey, you're already a third of the way there. You may as well. Thank you all so much. And we shall see you. Well, not next time, because there won't be a next time specifically for us. But
We'll see you
before we go, everybody, put your hands together for Ida, our producer. Big thank you. Big thank you.
Thank you, Ida.
Thank you, Ida.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Ida.
Ida. And another hand for Tendai, even though they already said their goodbyes, but we cannot forget Tendai again. And unless there's anything else that I'm forgetting,
We're gonna raid Misadventures.
we are gonna raid. We're gonna raid Mrs. Venturers League, and we're gonna torture Hedge as it should be.
So that's Call of Cthulhu charity stream, I think.
As we're doing a Call of Cthulhu, charity stream. I need everybody to go into their chat and say "nice cock," but just C-O lowercase capital C. Thank you. That's what I want from you guys as an audience. Anyway, bye-bye. Have a lovely night.
Have a wonderful evening, everybody.
And a magical new year.
What? It's June.